Power, perseverance, and leadership. Andre Thornton might not be the first name you think of when you talk about baseball legends, but to those who watched him play, the man brought thunder every time he stepped to the plate. During one of the roughest stretches in Cleveland baseball history, he gave fans a reason to cheer, whether it was his bat, his heart, or his leadership. A two-time All-Star, a Silver Slugger, and a Roberto Clemente Award winner, Thornton made just as much impact off the field as he did on it, and he faced personal tragedy, battling through injuries that never stopped him pushing forward on life. Today, we're diving into the life and career of one of baseball's most underrated sluggers. Let's talk about Andre Thunder Thornton's career. Born on August 13, 1949 in Tuskegee, Alabama, Andre was one of 7 siblings. Shortly thereafter, in 1955, the Thornton family moved north to Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, seeking better opportunities amid the struggles of segregation. Andre was a standout in football, basketball, and baseball at Phoenixville High, and apparently he had a pretty good hustle going in the pool halls. Eventually, baseball took center stage, though, and in 1967, he got a tryout with the Philadelphia Phillies at Connie Mack Stadium. And what did he do? Crushed fastballs out of the park. No surprise there, really, though. While he wasn't picked in the draft, the Phillies knew they had to sign him, and they did. But his journey to the majors, that took some time. Thornton spent 7 years in the minors, grinding it out with the Phillies, then the Braves, and eventually landing with the Cubs after a trade for Joe Pepitone. His power and perseverance has finally paid off and gotten him to the big leagues. Andre Thornton made his MLB debut on July 28th in 1973 with the Chicago Cubs. His first at-bat, was a strikeout off the bench. But a few games later, he got his first hit in a single off of Steve Renko, a name that'll pop back up later in his story. That year, he played in just 17 games and batted .200. It wasn't flashy, but the Cubs saw something in him. By 1974, Thornton was an everyday first baseman, playing in 107 games and hitting .261 with 10 home runs. In 1975, that was the breakout year. He led the Chicago Cubs with 18 home runs, hit .293, was 4th in the NL on on-base percentage at .428, and he even won NL Player of the Month in September. But as Thornton rose, the Cubs didn't, finishing below .500 again. By 1976, after a cold start, Chicago moved on, trading him to the Montreal Expos for, yep, you guessed it, Steve Renko. For Thornton, things didn't quite click in Montreal, struggling, hitting just .199 with 11 home runs over 96 games, and the Expos finished dead last in the division at 55-107. After one season, Thornton was dealt again, this time to Cleveland, providing a fresh start in a place where his legacy would truly take shape. In 1977, Cleveland brought in Thornton to lock down first base, and boy did he deliver. He played in 131 games, hit .263 with 28 home runs, played Gold Glove caliber defense, didn't win the award, but was pretty close, and he even snagged an AL Player of the Week honors in July. Finally, it looked like things were clicking. But then tragedy struck for him in his personal life. In a devastating car accident, Andre lost his wife, Gertrude, and their 3-year-old daughter, Teresa. It was a heartbreak no one should endure. Through it all, Thornton leaned on his faith in his family as well as his team. And when he returned in 1978, he didn't just play, he thrived. With 33 home runs, 105 RBIs, and a .262 average. He finished 4th in the AL for both home runs and RBIs. And he hit for a cycle as well on April 28th against Boston, being only the 6th Indian in history to do so. From 1978 to 1984, Thornton was a real force catching his groove in the big leagues, becoming a 2-time All-Star in 1982 and 1984, a Silver Slugger in '84, and over 30 home runs in 3 separate seasons, a top 20 MVP voter multiple times, led the league in intentional walks in 1982, and in 1979, he was honored with the Roberto Clemente Award for his community work and leadership. Even with the injuries and missing all of 1980 due to knee surgery and much of 1981 with a broken hand, he kept coming back stronger and stronger. In 1982, he exploded again for 32 homers and 116 RBIs, earning Comeback Player of the Year. In 1984, at age 34, Thornton arguably had one of his best seasons, hitting .271, 33 home runs, which was third in the league, and 99 RBIs, becoming his All-Star year and his Silver Slugger year. Unfortunately, throughout this whole entire period, the Tribe just kept missing the playoffs though, and Thornton was one of its few bright spots. By the mid-80s, age began catching up. From 1985 to 87, his numbers slowly declined, but his leadership never wavered. Even as young stars like Joe Carter emerged, Thornton remained a steady presence. In 1987, after struggling with injuries and limiting playing time, Thornton hung up his cleats and he retired with 1,342 hits, 253 homers, 895 RBIs, a career .254 average, and an .811 OPS. Not Hall of Fame numbers, but ask any Cleveland fan from the era like my dad, and they'll tell you Andre Thunder Thornton was their guy. Andre Thornton later would go on to be inducted into the Cleveland Indians Hall of Fame in 2007 and was named one of the top 100 players in franchise history. He did not play a playoff appearance ever, or had big market hype to make his mark, and he did it with grit and grace and gratitude throughout regardless, overcoming tragedies, injuries, and the grind of just being an overall underdog. Thornton became not just a fan favorite, but a role model. Andre Thunder Thornton may not have played in October, but the impact he made, and in Cleveland in particular and beyond, was postseason worthy. Thanks for watching. This has been Skid Denver.